Live with the first ever Scouts Elite podcast. I have with me today 3 other members of the Scouts Elite team, per se. We have Caleb.
Heyo.
We got Dan.
Hi.
And we got Josh.
How's it going?
All right, so now everyone knows the voices of all the people that we know, and none of the people that we don't know that aren't going to be watching anyway. But I guess I'll do a little intro of Scouts Elite. I'm just going to work off Corp's very well-written bio. Basically, Scouts Elite, we're here. We're not going to be the most knowledgeable people, except for maybe Dan. But
dude,
we're gonna
don't doubt yourself, man.
Like, we're not going to be like those other podcasts where they're talking all these like draft terms and whatnot. But we're working on it, and we're just going to try and be entertaining. But like Corp's bio says, we're here for the love of the draft. We just want to make sure that try and transition people so maybe they start liking the draft, maybe get into dynasty football and all that. But yeah, so that's what we want to do.
Yeah, we'll probably put a lot of fantasy takes on draft news. So
yeah, because that's where we all got our start, basically, dynasty football, which in my opinion is way better than actual fantasy. And it doesn't, if you don't want to put that much time into it, it doesn't take that much time either. But basically we want to get people comfortable, like, oh, we'll go watch these college rookies and whatnot. But yeah, I got a few segment ideas. First one is just called Who'd You Watch? I'm probably going to start it out with this each week. We'll each one of us just kind of go through like what we did or what we watched this week as far as scouts, or as far as players, I mean. So I'm going to start out today because it's kind of it was a hot subject leading up to on the Twitter about an hour ago. I watched Joe Williams today, and I thought he was good.
Yeah, Joe Williams out of Utah.
Yeah, Utah.
Yeah, and actually, I know it was funny because when you initially brought that up, you said that I had told you about him, and that's true. And
that is true.
The context that I had brought him up was I wanted to tell you how much I disliked him.
So did we have that? Did I have a conversation with you about how bad he was? I don't remember that at all.
It's possible, maybe not. It might have just stopped there, but I brought it up for that reason. Well, so you saying that you thought Joe Williams might belong in your top 10 running backs actually got me to go back and watch him again.
Yeah.
And while I still have some pretty serious concerns, he is better than I was giving him credit for.
Yeah. You should. The game that I watched first was UCLA.
Yep, UCLA.
That was electric.
Probably Oregon. Did you also watch Oregon?
I didn't watch Oregon. I don't remember the second one I watched, but after that I started doing other things. But he was electric in the UCLA game. Can't even deny it.
Yeah,
like
he's
three.
What he has going for him is definitely his speed, first of all, and that acceleration that he has through the hole. Both very impressive. And he also gets
But he what are your concerns about him?
My biggest concern wasn't so bad in the UCLA tape, but when I watched his BYU game,
oh my god,
and the Oregon
BYU tape was the first tape I watched on him because you guys were talking about today. I checked him out. It was
bad,
not good.
Right? Yeah, it was really bad.
So I need to go watch that, I guess.
From that BYU tape, I believe one of the things that I had initially written down was that I've seen kickers that enjoy contact more.
I was gonna say, one of my notes is that I thought he low-key broke a fair amount of tackles for a smaller guy.
He's not really a smaller guy. He's over 200 pounds. He's like
205.
Yeah, 5'11", 205. So he's a decent size.
Yeah.
I think that's a decent size for a running back. But he would break some tackles, but to me, the tackles that he broke, there wasn't a lot of contact there.
Okay, yeah.
Like he'd kind of maybe shake out of an arm tackle or, just stuff like that. But any kind of real contact, and one of the other things that concerned me was I thought that any kind of real contact, either one-on-one or even like hitting a couple guys at the line of scrimmage, is that especially in that BYU tape, his legs would just stop.
Yeah.
There, he'd get that contact, and that would be the end of the run.
I'm gonna have to go rewatch him because I thought.
And I'll admit, it was much better in the UCLA game.
Yeah.
One thing he really is good at is avoiding that direct contact.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he's kind of like
he can be productive without that leg drive through contact, but at the NFL level, that's something you want to see on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
From what you guys are saying, it kind of sounds like what's his name, Josh Robinson from last year. Similar.
No, I think he's a decent bit more explosive than a Josh Robinson.
Okay.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He's a better athlete than Josh Robinson was.
Gotcha.
Like, I did a quick. I actually thought he was like reminding me of like a poor man's Dalvin Cook when I was watching him.
A very poor man's, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's similar build, similar running style.
Yeah.
But
Little
I can see that a little bit.
little tidbit. I did a search for him on Google, and I found out that he like had retired.
Yeah,
for, like,
that
a
was my
month.
other concern
What?
about him. Yeah, he missed the first 3 games of the season because he had retired from football, which is one of those
Really?
things that, kind of calls into question, love of the game kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But
It's like a big
because
question.
I don't believe there were any medical concerns associated with him. I think it was a personal decision.
Well, what I read, it just sounded like he was just like sick of like the just like day-to-day like usual just like football pain,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and again, like I said, he seems like a guy that doesn't enjoy the contact, so that could go back to he just doesn't have that mental or physical toughness.
Yeah. Did you guys see that Justin Gilbert tweet or whatever from Joe Thomas
Oh yeah.
about him not like loving the game enough to be successful?
Yeah.
And that's what it can like. Justin Gilbert was,
He's good.
well, you can debate how good he was at the position, but
He's an
outstanding athlete.
Yeah. Like Matt Miller loved him. I couldn't really scout cornerbacks at all then. I still can't.
It's hard without that all 22
Yeah.
that we don't have access to.
Okay. My other who'd you watch? I guess I didn't really watch John Ross lately, but I've been seeing a lot of like Matt Harmon's been tweeting about him a lot and tweeting like little tidbits. I don't know if you guys have seen those, but some of them are like super impressive of him being able to just like juke people out of their shoes off the line of scrimmage.
He seems a lot like a Matt Harmon kind of wide receiver.
Oh yeah, Matt Harmon.
Kind of honestly in that John Brown mold a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
He's a little bit bigger than John Brown, but it's similar kind of thing to me.
Yeah. Other person notable, I guess I watched Nate Peterman, the guy from Pittsburgh. I don't know if any of you watched him at all. But
I heard a little bit from the Senior Bowl, but haven't gotten around to watching them yet.
like he had a decent amount of hype going for the Senior Bowl. And then I think he had like an average week, but I watched him and this isn't really exciting. I thought he was a backup potential, but this is the only other person I watched really lately. Doesn't wow me. All right, that's all I had written down. Anyone else? Who'd you guys watch this week?
Well, we already covered Joe Williams, so the other one lately, there's more film on Draft Breakdown of Corey Clement.
Oh yeah,
and it didn't help my standing on him at all.
I should have touched on that because I watched that today too, and I'm getting lower and lower on him. So
yeah, nothing. I still have him right now. I have him graded as a 75, which is about a role player, late 3rd to 4th round. That's probably still going to be going down a bit.
I have him right about in the 5th round range.
Yeah.
The thing about him is like he's so big and strong. Like his arms
got a
are
nice build.
ridiculous. Yeah, but like he runs like he's 190 pounds. I feel like
I
he's
completely
constantly just,
agree.
like,
Completely
stopping
agree.
his momentum. Like I feel like he could be good if he could like become like more aggressive and just like hit the hole
Yep.
'Cause
He,
it's just
he
like so hard
honestly,
to
he honestly
tackle.
plays timid.
Yeah,
Yeah, for a big guy, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I moved him down today. I think late third.
Third, yeah.
Like I actually have in my notes right here. Like he looks the part of a power back, but plays too timid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's actually it right here.
Well, there you go. All right. Anyone else, Caleb?
No, not really. I was just looking at the rewatching running backs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of what I've been doing lately as well.
I was wondering, Kareem Hunt. I've watched a little bit of him. I was wondering what you guys thought of him.
Well, yeah, why don't we talk about Kareem Hunt? I know we had some thoughts after the Senior Bowl here, and we kind of discussed that a little bit.
The hype was building on him.
Yeah. Like watching his tape, he's listed at 225 on draft breakdown, which he looked like he was 225 on tape. And then he shows up to the Senior Bowl and weighs in at like 208. And I just thought that was wild. Like,
what happened?
Honestly, that doesn't concern me that much. I think that's still a decent weight.
Yeah, that's
I think he can play at that.
Yeah, I'll definitely can play at that. I would really like to see him just like 215. I feel like he could still be just as fast and quick.
That's 7 pounds. Maybe he's trying to take off some weight to improve some of those, combine things.
Get ready
Maybe he's already started on that, but
Yeah,
makes sense.
Because honestly, I think more than just any other running back in this class, I think the combine is going to be a big deal for Kareem Hunt. Because I honestly don't think he's going to test very well.
Like as far as like not fast or
I don't think he's going to be super fast. I don't think he's going to jump particularly well. I don't think he's particularly explosive. I don't think that's one of his strengths. It's one of those guys I think is just going to be an average athlete.
yeah.
And however much that hurts him, I don't know, because I really do love his tape.
Yeah, he's got real good balance.
Oh, I think he might. It's near the top of the class.
As good as Kamara.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's right there with Kamara. I think it's right there with like your honestly your Dalvin Cook and your. Well, personally, I don't think anyone touches Joe Mixon in that category, but
he's like one of those guys where he's like not gonna wow you with any like athletic standpoint, but be a good football player.
I think so.
Okay. Any other notable running backs that you watched this weekend or not?
No, not really. That was pretty much what I covered there.
Yeah. Dan, I know you said you were watching a bunch of them, right?
Yeah, that was a little while ago. Probably not this week. But if we're talking about guys, one guy that I'd really like to mention is kind of my sleeper. And shout out to Josh here for introducing me to this guy.
Yearby.
Yep, Joe Yearby.
Dude, I was on this guy too a while ago. I watched him when he was a junior, and I'm like, there was like a 2-minute clip of him on draft breakdown. I'm like, who is this? I click on
and there's one more up.
Yeah.
There's still not a ton of tape there. He actually lost his starting job this last year at Miami, and even sometimes some games fell to what looked like to be the third string running back on his team. But for the life of me, I don't know why.
It was something good every time he touched it.
He was explosive, good power, lateral agility is there. Like, he checks all the boxes at running back.
He's a small guy. He is.
Yeah, he is smaller.
But I had to see those numbers to believe it, because seeing him on tape, he doesn't play that way.
Yeah.
No, he's very powerful for his size.
Yeah. And that's just some of the things I noted. He doesn't have that breakaway speed, but
Just was thinking that.
he has enough to get to that second level. He might not get you the 80-yarders, but he'll get you those 30-yarders.
Right. It's functional.
Yeah. But honestly, he reminds me a lot of like a Ray Rice.
I can see that.
Freeze up.
That's just my thoughts.
I just froze up.
You're
I
back.
said I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to rewatch because I don't remember being super impressed by him. I thought he was just average, but no, I trust you guys. I'm gonna go rewatch.
Yeah.
All right, sometimes you need to do those things.
Yeah.
True.
Like you just got me to do with Joe Williams.
Yeah.
I had just watched some more and adjusted my opinion. And that's something I kind of want to talk about that for just a second. I'm a big Twitter guy. I do all this Twitter stuff, and all these people get so fired up when they watch these draft analysts change their opinion on guys. To me, that's just part of the process.
Yeah.
Right.
That happens to Matt Mueller a lot.
Yeah.
Like if he moves anyone down, he just gets roasted.
Yeah.
Oh, you were high in this guy before, now you're bad talking to him. Like there was a whole year of tape between that opinion and.
It's because
Right.
now I know more.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
And it's possible to just see differently the next time.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of why the draft's so good. Two people can look at the same video and see different things. That's why otherwise it wouldn't be fun. That was actually one of my segment ideas that maybe I don't think we're gonna get to this week, but was called "Why I Hate Draft Twitter." I'm just gonna be
That's a good one.
examples of why you hate draft Twitter.
Love it.
So this is the first year we got you into draft Twitter, right, Josh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. How are you liking it?
I'm loving it.
Okay.
I love being able to choose what I'm looking at, kind of, as opposed to Facebook where I'm just getting pumped with nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So
Memes and videos.
I am enjoying-
Didn't have Twitter until now.
It's a great,
I know.
great source
Did
of
you get it
information.
literally just
it's
for
so
the
great. It makes stuff so much easier.
Oh, Kale, that's still all I use Twitter for.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I use Twitter for too, and it's amazing.
It is pretty cool when you go on the ScoutsElite Twitter and then you roll through the feed and it's just football.
Yeah.
It must be nice, actually being able to read all of your tweets on your timeline because you don't follow 400 people like I do. Yeah, Josh, anybody you watch?
One
No.
of my favorite things to do during this process is watching the Senior Bowl practices with the one-on-one wide receiver versus corners.
Yeah.
And one of the players that jumped out to me was this Chad Williams. He only has one video out there, but I see potential. He's got a nice frame on him, nice and tall, and he's a underrated athlete, I think, and good ball skills.
Yeah.
Chad
I remember-
So I was pretty
Williams.
excited about him.
I remember
Out
hearing
of
about him.
Grambling State.
Okay, I'll have to. I know you like these small school guys. I'll have to check them out.
I do love
If I'm being honest, he's not even on my watch list right now.
I saw
my
his name
top.
on Twitter today and I'm like,
Yeah.
I was so confused.
Yeah. I mean, this is Josh. This is the guy that ran into Cooper Kupp a year and a half ago
Yeah.
when he was watching
Oh, man.
three-year-old Vernon Adams tape. So I mean,
Oh, man.
Here we are.
Don't get me started.
Josh just
Monster.
sometimes gets down the rabbit hole on these
Yeah,
guys, and
I
How
do.
awesome has it been to see Cooper Kupp just rise and rise and rise?
Oh, it feels so good.
It's like you were there before pretty much everyone.
It's been pretty amazing.
There's nothing not to like about him.
Yeah, he even destroys Oregon in that tape.
Oh, man. When I'm having a bad day, I just like to pull up that Oregon tape and watch him plow over people,
Yeah.
stiff arm people for 30 yards. It's incredible.
Yeah. Should we jump into Fournette?
yeah,
Player spotlight?
speaking of plowing over people,
There we go. Segue. Our player spotlight, as voted on by the ScoutsElite fans, all 5 of them. We got Leonard Fournette, running back, LSU, 6'1", 230, junior. What do we think? Good? You guys think it's good?
yeah, he's all right. I'll start off. I guess the first note I have is stupid powerful.
Yeah.
That's my first note. That's the first thing I wrote down.
Is that also your last note?
It could be. It could be. Because that pretty much sums up Leonard Fournette for me. Plays with more power and more aggressiveness than I've seen out of the running back position in a long time.
It's very true. If you could build a power, like a runner for a gap scheme, he would be that player. Like, just create one in a lab. That would be Leonard Fournette.
Fournette running through an open hole, like you being a linebacker, has got to be one of the most terrifying things on this planet.
Yeah, and that's a linebacker. Let's get him in the open field on a DB, and then
Right.
And then he's gonna throw him into the earth.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I wrote, physical specimen, obviously, best straight. Everyone knows it. I put best athlete to come out since AP. This was a while ago I wrote this though. But as far as the size speed combo athletically, I think that's a fair. I mean, Zeke and Gurley obviously up there too.
Yeah. In terms of pure size, speed, strength, he, I would say, is the best since that 2007 draft. However, he is no AP.
Yeah.
No, absolutely
Saw
not.
that when we were throwing out lofty AP, but then we watched like some Adrian Peterson highlights, and you watch those and you compare him to Fournette, and he's not that player.
No. Same violent running style, same power.
Not quite as fluid.
No,
Yes.
that's the word.
Fournette, he's tight in the hips.
Here, guys, I got a quick guest here. Riley Feldman of Scouts Elite just dropped by, and he had a little comparison he wanted to drop on you guys about Fournette. So here he is.
What's up, boys?
Hey,
How's it going?
You know,
What you
just
got for
contributing.
that? Yeah, content.
All about content. But my thoughts on Fournette is I see a lot of Arkansas Darren McFadden in him, where he's super powerful, super fast, but has injury concerns, and he might end up being the next Darren McFadden in the NFL if that persists.
I don't dislike that comparison.
Not horrible. But
And it's like we're all thinking. I know we're all like, "Oh, Darren McFadden, gross," because we're thinking of the Darren McFadden that we've seen these last couple of years.
Good when he was healthy.
But
he would have been a freak if he didn't get injured.
Darren McFadden at Arkansas was one of the best running backs in the last 10 years, and did go in the top 10.
Right, and when he was healthy, he did produce.
Yeah.
I
don't dislike that comparison.
Nice. Same
good
with the injuries
like
too, like the upright running style.
Yep, the good size, speed, strength combo. Little tight.
They both run super high.
But yep, I can see that comparison.
Yeah.
Other thing to touch on too with Fournette, like I've seen this gain traction probably over like the last month or so with the work. I don't know if it's necessarily a work ethic concern or if it's him just being sick of college, like get me out of here. I got to get to the NFL, and he's going to fix that from now on. But apparently there's people at LSU coaching staff who are not happy with him. Like Coach O was pissed.
Interesting, because you pair that with his skipping the bowl game, and I don't read too much into it, but paired with that, it kind of...
Now, if I recall, last year during bowl season, people had mentioned Leonard Fournette had mentioned him skipping last year's bowl game and then the following season. And he said something regarding how he loves football and would never do that to his teammates. I remember hearing a story about that last year.
Interesting.
So this all happening this season is a little surprising to me.
I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. I mean, it's college, not getting paid. Like, do what you got to do for yourself.
Yeah.
And especially the fact that he was, battling injuries on and off all year.
Yeah.
Right.
You got those nagging ones, or you could play, but why even try? Or it's like, obviously,
What are your guys' thoughts on him struggling mightily against Alabama both years in NFL-style defense?
LSU's offense was out-talented.
Right.
There's just
I
more
don't
talent
hold
on
it.
the
I don't
Alabama
hold it
defense.
against him. I was just wondering your guys' thoughts, if anyone.
I mean, I haven't really broke down that much, but I mean, most running backs struggle against Alabama. I think the fact the fact that he had bad stats, you can kind of like go in and just see like what he had to work with. Like from what I remember, he didn't have much to work with at all.
Oh, he didn't.
Like,
I mean, Alabama has 3, 4, 5 first-round picks in that front seven now.
Right.
they basically had an NFL defense, but now like going into the NFL, he'll have at least an NFL offensive line to combat it.
Yeah.
Not too worried about it. He's still gonna manhandle linebackers and safeties.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's our ideal landing spot for a guy like Fournette?
I mean, every mock I've ever seen, I think ever, has him going to the Panthers. I don't think I've ever seen anything. Oh, no, I've seen Jags.
Panthers and Jaguars.
That's it. That's
Talk about a red zone offense right there.
Yeah.
Right.
I want him on the Panthers so bad.
Kelvin Benjamin, 6'5" wide receiver. Cam Newton, the best red zone threat ever. throwing Fournette, and wow. I'm going to say that the Panthers' touchdown percentage on red zone possessions is going to be the best in the league next year. If that indeed happens.
Do you think you would be going to the Panthers? Do you think you would end up being number one pick in rookie drafts?
Honestly, that spot would concern me a little bit from a fantasy perspective because of Cam Newton.
Oh, yeah. But they're looking to try and get Newton less involved, though, as far as running, I've heard.
Yeah, good luck stopping him. Like Jonathan Stewart last year, honestly, like the last 2 years, has ran the ball pretty well, but he's just not scored those touchdowns to be particularly fantasy relevant.
Yeah.
So you have Cam Newton scoring, 8, 10, 12 touchdowns a year.
It's good to have Cam Newton, then, I guess. But we for sure think he's coming in and give him 15, 20 carries right away, wherever he goes.
I can see that. If not, like, contributing to a committee.
Yeah, like if he goes with Jonathan Stewart, that might be. You can't just not give Jonathan Stewart any carries.
I mean, I would have said the same thing about Darren McFadden this year, to be honest.
Right.
Darren McFadden had a good year last year.
Yeah.
But Jonathan Stewart, Darren McFadden, to me, are at similar stages in their careers. In fact, I believe they actually came into the league the same year.
I don't know.
Can't confirm.
Cannot confirm. But how early?
I think if you have Fournette stepping in, he takes over that backfield pretty handily.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to keep him off the field.
But he is a lot like Todd, where he has to have some room to get going. If you stop him before he gets going, he'll lose 2 every time.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I see that. Once he gets going, like at the speed, he's gonna be real tough to.
Yeah, but he's also not the kind of guy that's gonna dance around in the backfield.
Well,
Yeah.
And
The Panthers line's better than the Rams line, so
I mean, whose isn't?
that's true.
So yeah, is that it, everyone? Any other Fournette opinions?
Austin.
Yeah.
Joe Williams.
Yeah.
Does it bother you at all that he literally quit football?
Like I didn't find that out until after those tweets, but I'm gonna stick to my just grading on field only thing and just not even worry about trying to break that down because I don't know. Like Dan said, I'm not friends with him. It's concerning. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that's, you don't like seeing it.
Well, I don't get to interview these guys.
I'd rather him,
I haven't
rather
met
him
him.
not retire from football. If that's what you're asking, then yes.
But yeah,
I'm just saying, like, do you think that's going to affect where he, like, how far do you think he's going to drop because of that?
we'll see how he interviews.
Yeah,
Like, I personally
he could
wouldn't take him,
potentially
but he'd be
drop.
off.
He could
He'd be off my
potentially drop
board.
a lot. I could see teams taking him off the board for that. Yeah.
Like, if I'm taking a mid-round running back, I'll just take a guy who didn't quit football.
Like it's not even that. It's like the way like some of the quotes I read from him like during that like just sounded bad. Like I hate the pain week to week, and that's gonna get worse.
It's only gonna get better in the NFL. You're in the Pac-12, dude. It's not like you're getting better.
So yeah, that was concerning. But I am gonna stick to my talent, the Dan strategy, I call it.
On field only.
Yeah, it's all I can control. I don't know how bad people's knees are and all that. I don't know how bad Dalvin Cook's shoulder is. I don't know how bad Jonathan Allen's shoulder is.
Love Dalvin Cook to the Eagles. Love the fuck out of that.
Oh yeah. Oh, we had a family podcast up till now.
God,
we'll cut that out. What was I?
That was my bad. Didn't know this was G.
Family show.
Family show. What was I saying? I don't remember now. Oh, just I don't care about injuries.
You see that?
Doesn't pay to break down. I'm just gonna segue that into the Mixon no combine thing storyline. What do we think about that? I would have liked to see him get a chance to at least obviously we know he's an athletic freak. I would have liked to see how he at least hear about how he interviewed and see how teams would have reacted to that.
I think that's the biggest thing that he's missing from the combine. I don't care how he tests athletically. I've seen it on the field. It's going to hurt him that these teams aren't going to have a chance to interview him there.
Yeah.
But honestly, teams that have him on their board are going to probably bring him in for those private visits.
Yeah.
I don't see this hurting him overall.
We'll still have the pro day too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But what do you get? You think he's gonna?
BT
I think someone's gonna take a chance on
Corey
it.
Davis.
I personally don't think he makes it through the second round.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
For how talented he is, I can't see it either. Like he's in that group of just like this historic running back class at the top, and I don't know. It was that long ago. I don't know.
He's at the top for me. He's
just stupid good.
Yeah.
He's really, but I would rather have an Alvin Kamara without anything like that than Joe Mixon with that.
Yeah, and I think Kamara will probably end up being drafted before him. Definitely.
Yeah. I think it'll be close.
Close.
I have them literally they're the same. They're like the same grade for me, but one has little off the field issue.
Yeah, one punch chick in the face. On video.
On video.
That's the key.
That's
And he hasn't really been very gracious about it. Like he had the tear-felt apology, but he was kind of like an ass in the bowl game.
Yeah. And as much as I love Alvin Kamara, I personally don't have him on the same level as Joe Mixon. But
no.
Well, obviously Mixon's a little more talented, but you have if we're factoring in where they're going to get taken based on
pure draft value, combining everything, yeah.
But if you're going just off talent, Mixon's definitely better.
Yeah.
Okay, so say you're sitting there mid-second round, you would take Kamara over Mixon?
If we're going based off talent, Joe Mixon is the best running back in the class. Sorry.
I think I'm taking a chance on Mixon over Kamara.
Okay. I agree.
I don't know if NFL teams are, though. My job isn't on the line. Anyone else?
I feel like in the
Mixon?
second round you can afford to take a risk like that, though. That's why we see guys, like.
I don't know. If I was just talking and they couldn't hear me, I'm sorry.
Riley.
Oh,
Okay.
they can definitely hear you. We're gonna cut that part. Cut that part.
I'll cut it with my amazing video editing skills. Okay, we got next storyline ahead. This is our storylines segment. It's intense. Get those takes ready. Trubisky's height. Mitch Trubisky, a lot of people's number one QB. Listed at 6'3" on North Carolina's website. Apparently, there's a witch hunt on NFL Reddit and whatnot, NFL Draft Reddit, about him being only 6'1". Like, people are finding pictures of him standing next to people who are 6'2". He doesn't look as tall as them. And people are just like, this kid sucks because he's only 6. That's actually what NFL Draft Reddit is like. It's probably worse than Draft Twitter because I haven't seen anything like that on Draft Twitter. But the Reddit people are freaking out. Like, okay, what do you guys feel about it? 6'1" problem? Skinny knees? Does he have skinny knees? Does anyone have a knee circumference?
His knees look pretty average to me, and so does his height, and that doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah, this height thing, I thought we were done with this, but apparently not.
Yeah.
Apparently they're still going strong on it, but like it's all about like angles and whatnot. Like Osweiler sucks.
I mean,
he's 6'10".
Yeah.
At least.
I mean, Russell Wilson's short. Drew Brees is short.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers isn't very tall. Tom Brady's not that tall. I mean, this height thing is just ridiculous.
It's overanalyzing.
I mean, it's not like we're talking, he's like 5'4" or anything. Like the man's
Right.
Even if the man is 6'1", like
Also,
he cleared my threshold by like 4 inches.
I've heard he's like a specimen in the gym too.
Really?
He looks like a big guy on the field.
He does.
Like, apparently he puts on a show. Okay.
Where is he?
Story.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just wondering, does everyone have him as their number one QB? Or
Not quite. I believe he is my 5th.
Ooh.
Question mark?
Wow.
Right. Like gut Josh.
Just out of curiosity, who do we have ahead of him?
Kaiser is my number 1. I love Kaiser. Just his toughness and his ability to connect on that deep ball. 2, I have Deshaun Watson. Just a champion. A personal favorite of mine at 3, Patrick Mahomes. And Brad Kaya. I know he's not popular amongst you guys, but
I'm actually on board with
Kaya.
Brad Kaya. I'm not going to lie. My top 5 quarterbacks are all very, very close in grade. So I'm not going to argue with you there.
Like Kaya, yeah, he's like super. He's one of the slowest people I've ever seen. But he's also like sneaky elusive for how slow.
I mean,
he
like
is.
he's no Zach Mettenberger or Ryan Mallett.
Right.
Like he's got a little bit more athleticism than that.
nice little pocket awareness.
Yeah.
And
We'll
he's
probably have
technically sound. Love, just you could tell he's very.
He's technically sound. He's smart, and I feel like he's a very accurate passer. He has a good anticipation. He seems to just have a good feel for the game.
Yeah, he always seems nice and calm. Like,
well, I think he does have a few issues with pressure and getting a little rattled, but
True.
yeah, we'll probably have a quarterbacks episode, I'm assuming. Soon.
Yeah.
Get real into that. Some hot takes. Come on. Next one I had Pat Super Bowl. How wild was that?
What a game.
Cements Brady as the GOAT.
Yeah, it's not debatable anymore.
Yeah.
As much as I still want to. I kind of want to spew a hot take. Like, obviously, 5 championships.
System QB. system QB.
No,
Jacoby Brissett won a game this year.
I'm gonna tell my kids that yes, Tom Brady's the GOAT, won 5 championships, but when I was watching Aaron Rodgers and when I'm watching Tom Brady, I feel like Rodgers is better.
Yeah. But here's a question: Do you think Aaron Rodgers, down by that score, brings the Patriots back to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
If his defense does the same thing the Patriots' defense did.
Yeah.
Fun fact: in Aaron Rodgers' last 10 playoff games, his defenses are giving up average of 35 points a game.
Aaron Rodgers has had 2 good defensives in his career. The rest of them below average.
And even the good ones. So you got the 2010, which gave up a ton of yardage and honestly points, but was forced turnovers like crazy.
And they kind of came on late too.
Yeah.
I was looking this up. The year we went 15-1, we gave up the most yardage in the league.
Yep. That was the brand of Packers defense back then was give up yards, force turnovers, make plays. It worked for him.
Rodgers the ball back. Like all the weapons we had back then, it was just unbelievable.
Worked really well. Moving along, we got Matt Miller's mock. Anyone check it out? That was released earlier this week. I think. We had Packers getting Kamara.
First round?
That's scary. First round. Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm assuming. Or no, was that McShay? That was McShay.
No.
Never mind. That was McShay.
Miller had Sidney Jones.
Cornerback.
Okay. McShay had Kamara. What else? He had Juju in the 3rd. That was kind of shocking to me. But I'm
on board.
Yeah, me and Josh agree as well. We talked about this before.
Juju.
I was kind of shocked by it because I didn't realize how much his stock is falling among the big draft guys.
Juju to me is Jalen Strong.
I can see that.
Yeah,
and I hated Jalen Strong.
Like Jalen Strong.
So rude, Dan, right in the heart. What else? Tim Williams. I think this was in Matt Miller's mock. This was in Reddit's response to Matt Miller's mock. Some guy came in there and said Tim Williams, who I think is a beast. And I have a decent amount of people on draft Twitter think he's a beast. So fast, pass rusher, can still set the edge from running, gonna be good early downs too. And he was compared to Michael Sam, which Michael Sam was one of the slowest, most unathletic people I've ever watched.
The way you're saying it, you're making it sound like Reddit draft is the worst thing.
It's not a fun place.
Sounds like a bunch of college football fans that think the guys on their team are good and that the guys on other teams are bad.
I've been checking it out maybe for the last week, and it hasn't been a fun place so far.
I'm going to have to check it out. We'll see what's up.
A lot of hot takes. I think that's all I wanted to hit on. Yeah. And also, any storylines? I know I heard we have a draft or a Twitter question.
Oh, we have 2 now. Someone just tweeted at us.
Looks like the first one is, does O.J. Howard go to Bama?
Does he anymore?
Our resident O.J. Howard expert chose to leave our group chat, so I guess he's never going to come on and confirm. But I do believe that he goes to Bama.
Does he
did go to Bama?
Went to Bama. That is what I believe is right. Looks like our second Twitter question is, how far does Hingle McCringleberry drop before someone takes him?
That's a tough one.
Everyone knows who Hingle McCringleberry is. He's the guy who got penalized for 3 pumps. Too many. That's one too many pumps.
Yeah, I really think that hurts his draft stock. I don't know. He's got character issues. I don't know. The talent's there, but I wouldn't take him. He's off my board.
He's pretty cocky.
Yeah.
I think he's going late. The same type of talent as like a Joe Mixon type talent where he's going to go regardless.
Yeah.
Those pumps, the third pump's going to drop him at least 3 rounds.
Yep.
But all right, I guess we could always end it with who are you planning on watching next? Who's up next?
All right, I got some of the top wide receivers to go here. Pretty much ground through the running backs. Got those pretty much nailed down. I'll be hitting the wide receivers hard these next couple days probably.
I'm planning on this Carlos Henderson. Matt Miller's the first one who I kind of even see mention him, but I don't remember if he has that much draft breakdown tape yet or not.
I don't think he does. Because I was looking for him too.
Like, I want to watch him. Maybe start getting into defense more. Maybe linemen. I don't know. Maybe tight ends if we ever get tight end videos. Any jerk butt film.
Yeah, for real.
Caleb, who are you watching?
Bounce off that, tight ends. I only have 2 graded right now. I've just been slacking on that, but tight ends, and then I've been starting on defense. So I only have a few done there. So pretty much everywhere on defense and tight ends, I'll be starting to work on, and then revisiting some of the older tapes of some guys that I have closely rated at wide receiver, like Chris Godwin is a guy I want to watch again, and Zay Jones.
Zay Jones.
Pick up on him again.
You actually put us on Zay Jones early, but
yeah, and we thought he sucked. And his tape, I still feel like it's not that great, but he will put on a show in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Very sneaky.
Yeah. Josh, who are you watching?
Let's see here. I'm finishing up some wide receiver. I'm going kind of the opposite route of Dan. I have some Malachi Dupree, Stacy Coley.
I need to watch
Ryan
Coley
Switzer.
too.
some like arena football D-League wide receivers.
Shout out to Dave. Going to be the first arena football player go pro. That might not be a fact. Could have happened. I have no idea.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, if he does, you heard it here first, and I will reference it when the time comes.
Such a stud.
All right, I think that's a good way to end. Thank you if you listen. It'll probably get better. But yeah, anyone want to sign off? Say bye.
Bye.
We'll catch you guys on the flippity flip.
Yep. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.